Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, July 8th, 2022. So, last Friday we said that the Bulls were going to try to do a short squeeze, and we said to focus on Biotech. So, let's check in on our work from last week. So there's the weekly candle there. A little bit of a squeeze, kind of a tepid one, all things considered, but little bit of progress has been made here on SPY. Normally I would spend a lot more time on this SPY with you guys, but I really don't have too much here worth really talking about. So the weekly chart, nothing really has changed, and that's not going to change for a while because of the damage on the weekly charts. But on the daily charts, you have this double bottom with a higher low, and then you have this flat top to break through right there, right? On the hourly charts, you're still finding resistance at the hourly 200. So I think that once the hourly 200, which is right around 390, breaks, then I think you can really start to chew up ground very quickly and then start to fill this gap back up here around 400, a little bit above 400. So on SPX, which I think shows the levels a little bit more clearly, I have a couple of levels for you. It's going to be 40.50, and this is all on SPX, so roughly 405 on a SPY, 4100, and then kind of a moonshot target, 4250, which would take you back to the yearly VWAP. So these are the three major levels that I have for you on SPX. These are major targets, and these are targets for the end of July. Now, the main thing, and you can see the VWAP up here, 4250, so kind of works well with that idea. The main thing here, though, is on the hourly chart. This is the only chart that you have any level of even the beginning stages of some structure, and really I wouldn't even call this structured yet on the hourly because you still have the 200 on top and the 50s here and the 221 is here, so that's still kind of messy. But what you want to see next week is for the hourly 21 EMA to hold, if it does have to pull in first, and then on the second test of the 200, that's when it goes. Ideally that's actually what it does. It pulls into the 21, bounces, and then immediately goes and breaks that 200. In the event that you close below the hourly 21, then I would put all long ideas on hold until it gets back above the hourly 21, because it really can't tolerate any kind of breaks here, right? So hopefully this all makes sense. The daily chart is still bearish, but it's improving from the inside out. And there's a lot of things that I looked at in the Friday in the premium video, like VIX, HYG, just minor things that are kind of leaning for continuation in terms of the squeeze. So be very careful because it is very fragile. Don't take it for granted. But once they get going, they could really squeeze it back into the 4,000s. So last week we said that XBI was probably the pick of the week, and here you are. So very big week here on XBI. Keep an eye on this one. I think it wants to go back to 100. Basically, but at the same time it's a little bit extended here. So the next major pullback here back to the daily 8 EMA, that offers the opportunity to reload. So that was last week's idea. I do want to round back to an idea that we shared with you maybe 3 weeks ago now, maybe 2 weeks, I don't remember, and that is solar, specifically EMPH. So we shared it right about here, and we had to sit through that, and we had to sit through that, but then we got rewarded with that. So the patience paid off. Long story short here on EMPH, you have the double bottom with the higher low. There's a flat top at 220, major resistance, but look at the setup. It's got thrust underneath it. It's bull neutral here, weekly squeeze, stacking the moving averages, daily squeeze, volume coming in, daily bull trend. Well, it's bullish. I wouldn't call it bull trend yet. It needs a little bit more separation, but that's okay because the last signal that you have is a green arrow, which indicates thrust to the upside that's still active. So 220 is your breakout level here on EMPH. If it gets above 220, I'm looking for 300. So the idea that I'd like to share with you again, because it has progressed, is again going to be solar. Now, solar is never easy, but neither is biotech, right? So those two ideas I think are working I don't want to say that they're like helping each other out, but they're definitely kind of working in concert. So keep an eye on solar. ENPH is probably the best one to go into. 220 is your breakout level. Major, major, major resistance. There's all kinds of crap there. Above 220, I think you can get this thing into 300. And then just a couple more picks for you guys here, since we kind of sped through the work. Crowd is probably one of my favorite short-term tech stocks here. It looks better than almost every one of the FANG stocks. Active buy signals. Positive divergences everywhere. You're above your daily VWAP here at 180. So keep Crowd on your radar. I'm looking for about 205 here on Crowd, so another $15 higher. Another one is going to be Roblox. I saw that this one was having a day, and I'm still looking for higher here on Roblox as well. And then lastly, Zoom. So Zoom, I think, is going to pull a Roblox essentially and target right about 130, 135 here on Zoom. So the things that I want to be involved with are actually going to be a little bit more on the tech side of things, specifically high beta tech, specifically things that have gotten already beaten up, right? So that's why Zoom and Roblox and Crowd are all somewhat attractive to me, because one, they have leading setups, and two, they've already been beaten up, and three, inflation expectations are topping out in the short term, so that generally helps these stocks. Another one that I think is about to have a, well, this one's already had a bit of a move here, but Lilly here, keep Lilly on your radar. And let's see if I can find one more pick for the group here. How about Power? Yeah, we'll close out with this one. I'll give you two more. I'll give you this one and another one. So Power, PWR. Again, kind of, it has a little bit of an ENPH vibe to it without any resistance to the upside. So the signals here, hopefully you could just see them. I don't have to point them out, right? The indicator kind of speaks for itself. Stacked moving averages, squeezes, squeezes. So I like this one as well. And then lastly, I'll give you kind of a mega cap tech stock here. And it has to be Google. It has to be Google. Google has been really impressive this week. Google probably had the most impressive week of any stock this week. So leading everything. You have the stock split coming up next week right here. So a little bit of a run into the stock split. And I'm looking for about 2,500 here on Google. So I think you can get it back into this resistance zone here, right around 2,500. And not a bad chart here on Google. So a couple of smaller picks, a couple of big picture ideas, solar, a couple of smaller picks like Zoom and Roblox. Big picture, understand the SPY and the hourly dynamics there, and one mega cap tech stock that's leading things, which is Google. So that's what we got for you guys. Hopefully you found the video helpful. Before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, like I always tell you, leave us a like or a dislike. It's all good. But just interact with our page. It really does help us with the algorithm. And if you guys want to leave us a comment, or if you have any questions, just drop the question down below, or just let us know what you had for breakfast. And either way, the YouTube algorithm will be very grateful. So thanks for stopping by, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next Friday. Cheers. Hey guys, this is Sam, and I'm the Director of Equities at Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching this video. And before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, I'd like to ask that you comment and like the video. It really does help us out with the algorithm and getting the message out to more folks who like to see our content. Also, be sure to click the bell notification and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything that comes out. If you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, come over to simplertrading.com and learn how to sign up. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you for the next video. Cheers.